Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Raw and Unsolicited with me and Andrew. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Andrew.
and today we're going to talk about coming out and how we did it.
Ooh.
Was it ooh for you? Mine was very uneventful, too.
Mine was.
I feel like it in general is uneventful.
I mean, I think it depends. I think some people have, like, very uneventful stories. I think it depends on your upbringing, your environment, who you're coming out to, what those people's beliefs are.
You want to talk about yours first?
So, my coming out is very boring. I was 19 years old. I had my first boyfriend. And I said to my stepmom, "There's somebody I want you to meet." She's like, "Who?" "My boyfriend."
She was like, fag. She pushed you down a hill.
She's like, "Okay." She's like, "Can you tell my dad?"
Can you tell my dad? Like, you didn't even tell your own father? And
she said, "Yeah."
And then did she report back like,
I don't remember.
can you tell my dad?
But then we didn't really last that long. So, like, they never met.
No, like, he's not gay.
No. But nothing ever changed. Nothing was ever.
I mean, same for me too.
There were. So, like, this was when I was 19. So, between the ages of, like, maybe like 16 and 19, there were, like, different friends that I had come out to where I was just like, hey, like, and at first it was like, hey, I'm bi.
Of course.
Bi. I have told people that I'm gay. I mean, ultimately, like, I consider myself to be pansexual. That is what I consider myself to be currently. Like, and ultimately, that's what I've been the entire time. For me, I'm pansexual and I'm demisexual. You know what demisexual means? And no, it has nothing to do with Demi Lovato, so don't even say it.
I'm not that uneducated that I thought you were always like, sorry, I'm not sorry. And that's not even Demi Lovato.
That's never bad.
Sorry, Dem. No, you
That was
mentioned
her
Demi.
girlfriend on Glee, though. Oh, it's
See,
okay.
I was connected. I knew it subconsciously. Yeah, thanks. Kevin Bacon. No,
Ryan Murphy.
You 6 degrees of Ryan Murphy, got it. So you've mentioned demisexual before, and I never was like, let me question that because like I just assumed it was similar, if not the same, as pansexual, which you've always been.
No.
So what is the difference?
So demisexual means that you have to be attracted to somebody mentally. Like you have to be attracted to them as a whole person. You're not just attracted to them as a physical being. You're actually attracted to their mind, their body, their spirit, whatever. You essentially need to get to know someone. Like, it's not just about having sex with a person because they're attractive. But with that being said, when I am attracted to somebody, I'm attracted to their entire mind, body, and spirit, like I just said. And that can be a man, a woman, a trans man, trans woman, non-binary, whatever they present themselves as. I am attracted to a person as a person.
Okay. So what does that make me?
You're just gay. You just like
Gay as
dick.
shit. Gay as shit.
You just like dick inside of you. Any hole, every hole.
In
all the
or
holes.
around. Jesus Christ. But no, like, there's so many, like, terms now, too, that, like, I'm not even hip to.
I mean, there's so many terms out there. Most people aren't hip to.
I don't mind being old. But no, and I want to understand all of it because I'm in the community and I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't even know where to start. But when I came out.
Oh, was I done? Okay, cool.
Are you done? I don't know. We went on a tangent. So I was like, I'll talk about myself now. Me.
Go ahead. How did you come out?
I don't. The closest thing to coming out that I remember is, I remember in high school, I went up to like my geometry teacher. And I was like, my stomach hurt.
My stomach?
My stomach.
Stomach?
I was like, how old are you in like 11th, 12th grade? Too old to be saying stomach.
First off, I've never even heard anybody
Stomach,
say
tummy. I don't fucking know, Andrew Aaron. I said my stomach, and these two butch men in the back were like, faggot. And then I was like, oh my God. I was like so dramatic. I was like going to harm myself, which now I know I never would, because I would take happiness from too many people if I ever hurt myself. But I remember like going to the counselor because I like said these things about myself that I was going to hurt myself. My parents were like, we love you regardless, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward like however many years later, I met this kid and I was just like, just brought him home. Never even said it was like my boyfriend. He was just around all the time. And I remember my best friend being always like, just tell us you're gay. We know you're gay. We just want to hear you say it. And I feel like I was like 31 by the time I finally just said to her, I was like, James, I'm gay. It's like she really just wanted to hear those words.
Who was this person that you brought around?
Anthony was the first guy that I like brought around, but I had already had men in me before that.
Are you supposed to say his name?
I don't know. I don't care. It was my first boyfriend. Like, I mean, I'm not talking bad about him.
Okay.
He was my first, I guess, boyfriend. But like I said, there was men who've been inside me before that. But then I was like, maybe this is bisexual. I know it wasn't. But like, you know how we're always in that like form of denial, and you're always in that stage where like, I don't know. You like haven't accepted it yet because we're more worried about what everybody else fucking thinks more than ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came around, and then I just stopped caring more and more what people thought. And then I think were you after him? You were right after him. And then
What do you mean, was I after him? You've had 3 boyfriends your entire life. Was I after him?
4. I had 4. That fat, sloppy, tall one. Remember?
Oh, you were like officially boyfriend?
I think so. I don't know. I mean, we spent a whole summer together. I regret every second of it. No, I don't. That's a lie. I don't regret it. It was great. He was just disgusting. But regardless, I still never had like a coming out. And I think that's what my best friend really just wanted for me. And I still don't even care to be like, I'm gay. Like, you can tell that I'm gay when you're talking to me. You can look at me and know that I'm gay. Like, my eyebrows are on point, not right now. Like, everything is usually, fuck you, bitch. Everything is usually legit. So you can tell that I'm a homosexual. So I don't think that needs to be often displayed. I don't need to, like, hey, my name's Ryan. I'm gay. And a lot of people are like, feel the need to, my gay friend Ryan, or what, I think that's so stupid. Your friend Ryan's going to come. You're going to love him. He's going to make you so uncomfortable. Yes, he's gay, or let them figure out that I'm gay when I'm hitting on their boyfriend and trying to jerk them off. You don't need to tell them I'm gay. They're going to know the moment I fly into the door. Same as you now, hearing this podcast back. You're the gayest voice. I still don't agree with that. I really don't. But all of our fans say you're the gayer one.
Super self-conscious.
And I'm sorry that people are ruining that for you. I really am sorry that people are ruining that for you.
I mean, it is what it is. I own it. Who the fuck cares? I don't care. I'm just saying, like, I was something.
But do you remember having like this inner turmoil that you were like so scared to come out? Like, what was the repercussions and how people were going to take it and what was going to happen? Because before I came out, one of my friends down the street came out and his family completely disowned him. So when you're surrounded by that, I feel like that makes you even more nervous. You can tell that, like, when you meet my family, I have an incredible family. They're accepting of everybody and anybody. But it's still, I was like, fuck, if X, Y, and Z came out and his family was like, bye, girl. I was like, oh, shit. Meanwhile, I was trying to blow his brother my whole teenage life. But his brother was so
30.
Handsome.
You've always been. When was the last time that you talked to him?
Who? This kid that I'm talking about from my childhood? A couple months ago, probably. Maybe a little bit longer.
And you've always been.
I still would blow him.
Right.
He could say, like, hey, my wife's asleep, and I would drive over to his house right now.
Right.
We've never done that, but I totally would.
Yeah.
I think he's the reason I have the type that I have now. Tattooed, bearded, and shaved head. That's what I like in men. You don't need to have those, but that's like my type of sorts. I'm air quoting type. You didn't hear by my words, but
when you fell in love with him.
I fell in love with him?
You've been in love with him for a very long time. Yeah, let's be honest.
I still might be.
But
Who knows?
You still are, for sure. But
I
when
mean,
you
he's
fell in-
fucking gorgeous.
When you fell in love with him when you guys were preteens, he wasn't bearded and he didn't have tattoos.
Yes, he did. He was oddly ahead of Andrew. It's weird. He had tattoos at an early age.
But not when you were like 11, 12.
I don't think I knew him at 11 and 12.
Well, regardless.
All I knew is
tattoos and he wasn't bearded when you first met him. I've seen pictures. He wasn't bearded and he didn't have tattoos.
I don't know, but I just lived by, what is the word? Vicariously through my best friend because she dated him for a brief moment. And I was like, yes, tell me about every inch of that dick. He was literally such a handsome boy, man, teenager, whatever he was.
Handsome.
He's very handsome.
He's definitely handsome.
And he's handy. Who doesn't want that? Anyway, if you're listening, I'm still waiting.
I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he's very well aware.
You think?
Yeah.
I should ask him. Like, did you know I was ever into you? He's like, yeah, that one time he jerked me off when I was sleeping. I really did. I was kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know.
I tried to, but I didn't succeed.
Stop, you're going to get arrested.
He woke up.
Don't talk about these things.
He wanted it. Anyway.
Anyway.
So did you deal with any internalized, like, oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, what's going to happen?
Yeah. I think so. You know, I do to a certain extent. So, you know, I think back, like, my uncle was gay. My entire life, like, I was brought up by they say, what's the saying?
A village of homosexuals?
No. It takes a village to raise a child. I don't fucking know. But it wasn't just my father raising me. Like, it was my extended family. Like, there were uncles, aunts, grandparents, friends, whatever. Like, I was raised by everyone. But anyway, my uncle was there my entire life. My uncle was somebody who, you know, raised me, took me to concerts, took me places. Like, him and my dad were best friends. Like, we would hang out on the weekends. Like, we would do stuff together. We would go places together. You know, so I was always around gay people because of that. I was around my uncle. I was around some of his friends, stuff like that. But it still wasn't something that was like, I don't know, like, in my mind, it wasn't like, oh my God, like, I can be this. Does that make sense?
Yes and no. I mean,
but it was still like, at the end of the day, I knew it was acceptable. You know what I mean? All of my family accepted my uncle for who he was. Like, and to hear about it later down the road, like, that's not how it was when he came out. When he came out, you know, my grandfather was not accepting it at all. You know, obviously it was a different day and age. It was a different time period. Like, people thought differently and stuff like that. But, in my mind, the only thing that I saw was him being accepted by everybody around. But with that being said, I was in places where, you know, my dad's friends might have said something like, oh, are we going to the fag's house? Or, you know, something like that, where it was off-putting, but it still didn't come from a place of, like, it definitely came from a place of, like, unacceptance, but at the end of the day, they were still going to hang out with him and having fun with him.
Was it unacceptance or just ignorance?
Probably ignorance, probably just stupidity, probably just people trying to be funny or stupid.
And half of them probably wanted to fuck him.
Well, I don't know about all that, but it's still, like, I don't know. So, and, like, thinking back, like, you know, we see now what we have in the world. You know, you see on TV, in movies, the representation of the LGBTQ community. That wasn't a thing when we were children. You know what I mean? And if it was them being made fun of. It was them being put in this different light of like not an acceptance type feel. You know what I mean? So growing up with that, where they were the punchline of the joke, you know what I mean? It made it hard. And, you know, that's why now that's something that we fight for. We fight for that representation, that acceptance. And, you know, you don't realize how much it means until you're on the opposite side of it. You know what I mean? Like, to think about the representation of young Black females in certain aspects, to think about the Asian community. Like, I just read this whole thing about how, you know, that new Netflix show Beef. Have you watched it yet?
With Ali Wong?
Yeah, I love her. Have you watched it?
I've seen the first episode with her and Steven Yeun, or however you say his name.
I've watched a couple of the episodes, but I read this thing that she had said where, like, the representation of this TV show means so much because it used to be like, oh, I love the Asian one. When you're watching a show or a movie that only has one Asian actor in it, and yes, it's representation, and yes, we should be excited about it, but when you see a whole cast of Asian Americans, or maybe they're not all Asian American, sorry for my ignorance, but to see this whole cast of Asian people, you're not like, oh, I love the Asian one. Like, you're actually representing that individual person. Like, I love Ali Wong. I love whomever. You know, and I think representation, I feel like I've totally like talked about nothing and now I'm totally sidetracked. What was the initial question?
We're talking about coming out. And if you had any internalized anything while coming out. So your uncle being gay was easier for you to come out, or?
I don't know. Honestly, like, you would think that because my uncle was gay, that would be one of the first people that I told. He was one of the last, which was fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, I don't know.
I just remember, like, even being a teenager, like, hanging out with all my cousins and, like,
Circle jerking?
No, what? Jesus. No. I can't stand you. No, we were like at a family party, and I remember like one of my cousins saying, like, my uncle was like, oh yeah, Ryan's a little light in his loafers. Not knowing what that meant. Not knowing anything, but
who
they're
the
like,
fuck knows what that means?
Apparently it means you're gay.
Like, I mean, I
and then there's like queer as a $3 bill.
Right.
I've never seen a $3 bill. I'm kidding. I get the point. I've seen a lot of faggots though, but I've never seen a $3 bill. But it's just like, what? Like, your own uncle is saying that, but like, even looking back now, like, I could care less. I still could care less what people think of me.
Right.
I'm very confident in who I am. I love who I am. Everyone around me seems to love who I am. If you know, I really don't give a fuck about you either.
Right.
So I just wish it was easier. I mean, it is easier now for kids to come out and be more who they are. Some people I think still are so terrified, and I think that's horrible for them to like have to worry about their family disowning them over them being themselves.
Yeah.
Like, because it's still a thing.
Yeah. No, it is, especially in families that are very religious.
But like, why does anybody else care about what anybody else is doing with their fucking life?
And here's the thing, like, when
I was done talking. Go ahead. No, but like, why does Mary Beth care how many dicks you're sucking on a Friday night because she's praying to the Bible? Drink some holy water and drop dead. Like, shut up. Like, why? Honestly, though, like, why do you care?
So, what I was going to say was, you know, when you think back, and maybe it's a little bit different now, it's still not where it should be, and it's still not where we want it to be. But when you think back to, like, maybe when we were children, or even before we were children, like, whatever, I think a lot of concerns from people that loved you or loved the person that was gay was the trouble that they were going to have to go through. They were scared for what they were going to have to deal with now being out in a culture that didn't accept. You know what I mean? So there was that fear of like, I don't want my son or daughter to be stereotyped. I don't want them to have hate crimes. I don't want them to have to deal with the struggles of being this. You know what I mean? So I think that there was some fear in that aspect, which I think at the end of the day comes from a good place. You know, when we talk about intentions, it's not like you're intentionally being mean or unaccepting. It was coming from a place of like, I care about you and I don't want you to have to deal with that. But I still think that that's not the right way either.
To treat me different because you don't want me to have to deal with these struggles?
Yeah.
I'm glad I went through the struggles I went through. I didn't really go through many struggles, honestly. Sorry to say, like I really didn't.
Been called a faggot once.
I've been called a faggot multiple times, and I'm like, yeah, and you're gonna be calling me that later, like when I'm doing things. Like, I don't get the need to put anybody else down to make yourself feel better. I really just don't get that. But I am glad I went through the struggles because every struggle that I've been through has made me who I am, and I'm pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah, I mean, anything that we go through, whether it be a struggle, whether it be heartbreak, whether it be turmoil of any stance, makes us who we are. Like, I'm happy for the challenges that we go through, but
And I don't like. I think it was like portrayed in a movie or something. Like, why don't straight people have to come out?
yeah,
Hey, I love women. Like, why? Like, why do I have to tell you I love a man? Who cares? I don't care what you're doing with Michelle behind closed doors. Why do you care what I'm doing with Bob?
Yeah.
Just let each other live our own lives and shut up and mind your business.
I saw this video recently where, like, this mom like picked up her daughter from school and she was getting ready to record her for something. Like, she was recording her to, like, because she wanted to ask her something or like play a prank. I don't even fucking know what the reason was. But she was like, how's your day? And she's like, well, my girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, wait, whoa, what? She's like, are you telling me you're gay? And she's like, yeah, mom, like, come on. And then she just continues saying her whole fucking story. And her mom's just like, okay. Like, but why does it matter?
Exactly.
Like, why does it matter? Like, it should just be natural. Like, I can love whoever I want. I can like whoever I want. Like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. It shouldn't matter to anybody else.
But it does for some stupid reason. So if, like, say my parents come out at an older age, am I going to unlove them because now my dad or mom want to be gay or queer at a, like, what? This is stupid.
I think that a lot of it is, like, even to go back to the piece of, like, I'm scared for you, like, at the end of the day, those are your feelings and your emotion, and that should have nothing to do with me. So, like, for somebody to be like, you know, a parent comes out at a later age or something like that, and it's like, you've been lying to me my whole life. You ruined my whole life. You've been with my mom my whole life, and now you're gay. Like, who the fuck cares?
Again,
like,
selfish.
Exactly. Like, that's so selfish. What has that person been dealing with internally this whole time? Where they've been struggling this whole time, and all you care about is how it affects you. Like, that is, who is that fair to? Like, that's just fucked up.
People are selfish. I can speak from a selfish standpoint. Everyone is selfish to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's stupid. It's
I don't
very,
know.
very stupid.
But on a similar note, you know, as somebody who has been gay my entire life, I guess, I don't fucking know. That's a whole nother thing too. So, do you think that you're born gay?
Yes, 100%. I don't think it's in your environment. And if that's what you do think, cool. Again, I don't fucking care what you think. I think we are born gay. I remember myself as young as whatever the fuck age I was, 4 or 5, at Disneyland, wanting everything Minnie Mouse. My mom bought me everything Minnie Mouse. I don't think my mom made me gay by buying me pink fucking sunglasses. I already wanted to suck a dick.
You wanted to...
Maybe. I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. But, like, I already knew it was in me. Like, I wanted girlier things. Who cares? I had My Little Pony. I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had G.I. Joes. And I had My Little Pony. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
Whatever. Barbies. My parents bought me whatever I wanted. I was a spoiled brat, and they didn't care what I wanted as long as I was happy.
Right. I think.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't think that.
So you think my parents made me gay by buying me dolls?
No.
What environment? I wasn't in an environment of like rainbows, and you think they like put on like just gay TV shows and brainwashed me? Like that's
No. I don't think that it's that. It's
please back up your environment statement.
nature versus nurture. Like I don't like. I don't know.
Let's hear it.
I don't think that we're born gay. I think for me, like as a child, like I didn't show signs of being gay. I didn't dress up. I didn't play with dolls. I didn't do any of that. But at the same time, I don't think that should be stereotyped as being gay. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Me neither. That's why I like Bad Bunny, because he's a whole nother level of incredible human.
Sure. But I don't think like that's that. Like I think that when you talk to a lot of gay people or people in the community, they can say like, oh, I've known my whole life. Like, oh, I knew this. Like I showed characteristics of this. Like, what the fuck is a characteristic? Like, let's be fucking like
you
there are
stood
fucking
in a corner with a bent wrist. You like stood with one leg out. I was gay as shit from a very young age.
There are literally people that are gay, full on gay. I am a homosexual. They are proud to be it whatsoever. And they are literally the most masculine fucking people out there. Like, and have no.
And they're bottoms.
And
that's what kills me. They're fucking bottoms.
And have like, that's amazing for me. Yes, hit me up. Thank you. But have very little feminine characteristics. Why does you being gay have to be characterized by you being feminine? It's not the same thing. They're not one and the same. They're not. They're not the same thing.
I agree with you. I'm just telling you how I knew I was a raging homosexual.
So anyway, back to me. So, as a child, I didn't know I was gay. I didn't think I was gay. I wasn't showing these quote unquote characteristics of being gay. Like I said, I had a gay uncle who was in my life my entire life. Like, was there as a child, whatever. Like, you couldn't link one thing to another. It wasn't like, whatever. It was acceptant. It was fine. I didn't even think about being gay until one of my best friends came out when I was 15 years old. I was 15 years old at this time. Even 12, 13, 14, going through puberty, thinking about that. I was in the fucking room jerking off the boobs. Like I was all about fucking women. Like that, like I had girlfriends. Like I didn't think about guys. I didn't think about that until one of my best friends came out. And then
that environment made you want to be gay?
No, it blew my fucking mind. I was like, I can't even be in this environment. I don't know what's going on. Like, I was scared at that point. I don't know why. Like, thinking back on it, I still don't even fucking know why. I was like, this is weird. Like, am I living a lie? And then I didn't know if I was living a lie, if he was living a lie, if my whole life was a lie. I didn't know anything. I had a fucking midlife crisis at 15.
You had another one again at 30.
Clearly wasn't midlife because I'm still alive. But I don't know. I don't know. And then I'm like, could I be gay? Is that a thing? And then I started in guy porn. And then I was like, And I started experimenting things. I started doing things. I started thinking about different things.
Like what?
Don't worry about it. We'll talk about that in another episode. But then, like, it just slowly but surely kind of headed in that direction. And I don't know. But I think that it's like, I don't know.
Where does this tie into your environment, Argue? You were born gay. You just did not realize it until you heard the word and your other friend told you. What you just said does not back up your environment case at all.
So,
at all.
So I know somebody who was, I know actually a few people that were sexually molested as children and were put in that position.
Put in what position? Like to be sexually harassed?
Yes. So did that cause them to yearn for that because it was forced upon them?
No, not at all. I don't think so. But that's never happened to me also.
Right.
But I don't think if that, I feel like you would steer away from that
So
because it scarred you. No? But
No.
again, I don't know.
no, there's a lot of studies when it comes to trauma, because you are put in a traumatic experience at such a young age. That is what love is to you.
And your
So-
body craves that?
Trauma. Yes.
Your body craves trauma.
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
Listen, I know that. And that's unfortunate, but a lot of people are that way, where they yearn for that trauma, where that trauma equates to love, or that trauma equates to this feeling, and it's those ups and downs, and it's all kinds of things. We can go on.
Like, this is an ignorant question. Like, trauma to their private parts?
No. Mental trauma. Like, it's not about
Like, to deal with something that you're probably not, you should talk about, but no one's talking about. Like, that kind of trauma? Like, you're just holding it in and just slowly dying inside?
well, no. Like, I don't know. Let's
Dumb it down.
no. That's not the topic of this.
Regardless, it sounds horrible, and I'm
It
sorry
is-
that people are going through that
It
at
is.
all.
I will give you this book. I'm reading this book right now.
I'm not going to read it.
What?
No offense to people doing I don't read.
I'll
Can you read it to me in a British accent? Let's do one episode where you read me a book.
I'll
I'm
read you a
kidding.
couple passages. I'll read you a couple paragraphs of things that I don't have it with me.
Just
I'll
give me a
send it to you later.
headline. Just give me a
Okay.
headline.
I'll
I
give
read
you some
headlines. Okay.
But
But no, you still
But-
have yet to back up your
so
environment.
okay, I'll give you another example. So there are studies and there are actual proof of lack of a male figure in your life. So people who did not grow up with a father or grow up with a male figure in their life have eventually become gay or more feminine or whatever the case is. Like, why does that happen? What is that?
That's
Again,
just
it's just-
circumstance. You just happen to be gay,
So it's just
and your dad is
coincidental.
gone.
So
Yes,
it's just coincidental.
I really do. I do not think it's. I mean, people can argue with me, and I will argue
Listen,
back.
I don't think that there's an exact answer to this. I mean, we can sit here and we can go back and forth, and it's just my opinion, and my opinion could 100% be wrong. I'm not saying, and at the end of the day, I don't care either way.
It's
It
still
doesn't
valid,
matter.
though.
At the end of the day, I am part of the community. You're part of the community. However we got here, it doesn't matter. However any of us got here, it doesn't matter. But that's just
It's just funny to hear people's sides and stands. Like, most people don't talk about this, and I really am curious. I'm always like, blah blah blah. Let's talk about this, but nobody talks about anything anymore.
Yep.
That's why I'm like, let's dive in. How are you feeling? Because I want to talk about stuff. I'm ignorant to a lot of things, and the things that I'm educated on or think I know everything about, I want to just push onto people. That's why I talk to strangers at public places and just dive into dumbass conversations about anything.
I love vulnerability, deep conversations, like things that are like mentally like challenging, and like I love those things. Like that is like that's more of a fucking turn on than your fucking nude picture. Like honestly,
But everybody's surface nowadays.
I know, and it's fucking sad.
Yeah,
And that's why I'll be single.
probably. It is what it is.
But I also think that like for me, for you, I think for a lot of people, I think that there's some internalized homophobia. I think like I can honestly say that I think that I have some internalized homophobia.
What does that mean to you?
So I think that there's several pieces here. I think that one, the fact that I'm going to sit here and say like, I don't really like gay people. I think that says a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say like, that's surface level that I say that. Like deep down, do I not like gay people? Absolutely not. I love people in general. I don't care how you represent.
Identify.
Right. I don't care any of that. I love people for them being people. I care about a person as a whole. I don't like you on the surface. I hate all people on the surface. But I love you as a soul. I love you as a person deep down. And I don't know. I think I think by me saying that I don't like gay people is kind of a homophobic thing to say.
But that's also more of a common thing that I hear is that there's gay people in my life that don't like other gay people.
I mean,
Do you think, I mean, there's a lot of the times I've talked to gay men in public and they're just very rude. One, why be rude to anybody? Two, why be rude to your own people? So I feel like we're pitting ourselves against each other when we should be the most. We fought so long for acceptance. Why not accept each other? Why are we being mean to each other? So we shouldn't be hating each other.
and I sit here and I say absolutely, but I'm the first one to be like, I fucking hate gay people. So like,
But where does that come from?
I mean, for me, I can speak for me. I think it comes from a stance of that I think that most gay men that I've met have ulterior motives. I feel like there's the culture in which the gay community is right now that I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to be a part of the hookup culture. I don't want to be a part of, you know, that entity. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're gay doesn't mean that I don't like you. It's just I don't like the culture that it's become.
See, when you say that you don't like gay people, I imagined it be like, because I mean, granted, you and I are not flaming, as people would say, but I feel like when people say I hate gay people, it's the ones that are flaming. Like they don't like the extra gay ones that are on rollerblades blowing glitter on people.
And that's so fucking unfortunate. And I've literally called people out for that before. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, they're like, I've had people say to me before, like, well, you're not that bad. You're not that flamboyant. So, who the fuck cares? Now I'm going to be more flamboyant in front of you. You know what I mean? Like,
I've been told I'm a good introductory gay.
that's...
And I'm happy to be that for you, sir, until I suck your dick. But like...
But that's like so fucked up. Like, you know, when you think about like the trans community, for instance, and how, you know, there was all of this like anti-trans and blah, 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 blah. And then like, I can think about when like Caitlyn Jenner transitioned and came out and she won all these things and she was on the cover of magazines and it was like more accepting at that point. And like, I remember posting something at that point and I was like, just because somebody has money that they can go through the transition and that they can now present themselves as a full woman doesn't make the person that can't or doesn't have the resources to do it less of them. Like, how is that? Like, you can't pick and choose who you accept. You can't. Either you accept the community as a whole, you accept all gay people for who they are, you accept all trans people, non-binary people, queer people, anything, you accept them all. If you can't accept them all, you don't accept any.
Most people aren't even self-accepting. So you can't expect them to accept anybody else when they don't even accept who they are.
Absolutely.
So that's the problem with the world is people are not comfortable with themselves. So they want to pinpoint bullshit on other people.
Absolutely.
But the whole internalized homophobia thing, I feel like I have it, but I don't understand why I have it.
I agree.
Like, why am I like, ugh, when there's like a certain type of queer person that I'm around? I'm like, no, thank you. Why?
Well, I think for that, it's not about the person. I mean, it's not about the fact that they're that they're homosexual or that they're queer or whatever the case may be. It's the fact that you just don't like that person.
I think it just has to do more with me just being ignorant. Maybe I'm not comfortable with myself sometimes. I don't know. I'm still figuring it the fuck out.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, to sit here and say earlier in this episode that like I'm self-conscious about my voice, like that's a form of internalized homophobia. You know what I mean? Like, this is my voice and maybe I sound gay. Who the fuck cares?
Clearly our fans care more than you do. Like that one guy on YouTube that was like, put some bass in your voice.
They're just fucking...
I don't care. Give me more likes. Give me a comment. More people will see it. I don't really care. Troll me, please.
I mean, I don't know. I do think that I have internalized homophobia that I'm afraid of. I don't know. I don't know what I'm afraid of. I don't know if I'm afraid of accepting myself. I don't think that that's true because I do accept myself.
But do we? We sit here and say it, but do we? Maybe this form of like insecurity slash not homophobia, sorry, internalized homophobia, maybe we are not as secure as we think. And here we are preaching to people like, be comfortable. And we're like so insecure. Just enjoy your life.
We all have insecurity.
Do what you're doing and just be happy with it.
Even the most secure people, even the people out there that are presenting themselves behind closed doors, have fucking.
Here we are with this fucking presenting thing again. People that are fucking assholes hanging out again. I can't with that word. You need to like vow to never use this word again. But no, it really is a shame that like we're so far yet. I feel like we still have so much further to go. And I'm totally down to fight and just.
And we're going backward. We're literally going backwards as a fucking nation. Like, it's fucking stupid.
It's because of the president. We're not getting into that, but that's what people are going to be saying as they listen to this podcast.
It pisses me. Like,
and I don't care who you vote for. Just, don't bring politics into this. I was saying that as a joke. Shut up, people.
Why do you care? Why do you care about fucking drag queens?
Why do you care about anybody other than yourself?
Why do you care that I'm fucking whoever the fuck I'm fucking behind closed doors?
Maybe they're jealous. I have no idea. I don't care to care what other people are thinking.
I hate everything.
That's why my life is rainbows and butterflies, because I really don't fucking care what other people are doing. I don't have time to gossip or care about you. I'm too selfish for that. Maybe that's ignorant of me to be so selfish. I don't care.
So what advice do we have for our listeners
About coming out?
about anything that we've talked about?
Do it when you're ready. If you ain't ready, then listen, hold on to it. Even if you are ready, hold on to it if you want. Who the fuck cares? You owe nobody anything. You don't have to come out if you don't want to at all. If my best friend didn't force me to say it to her, I probably still would have. Because like, who the fuck cares? She knows I was sucking dick. Who cares? And don't hate anybody. Because you hate yourself. How about you?
I say I hate everybody equally.
What the fuck? So stupid.
But no, like why do we live in it? Like everything that we do. And listen, I am not one to fucking speak. I say it all the time. I'm like, I hate that. I hate that person. I hate this thing. I hate that. Like, I need to take that out of me.
Do you hate that because it's your environment? No, you're just saying you're gay because your environment, so maybe you're full of hate because of your environment.
Why do I hate you?
I don't know. Because of your environment. Because I'm in your environment. Regardless, it's stupid. Hate is stupid. It's disgusting and it's ugly.
Yeah.
Just be positive. Change your mindset.
I think my advice is be kind.
Relax, Ellen DeGeneres.
No, but for real, be kind. Be kind to people.
It doesn't hurt.
You don't know exactly. You don't know what they're going through, and even if you do know what they're going through, like it has nothing to do with you. Don't be selfish. Don't worry about what other people are going through and why that matters to you, because it doesn't matter to you. And for anybody who is out there listening that is afraid to come out when you're ready. Come out to whoever you want to. I don't think that anyone needs to come out. I don't think anyone should be afraid to come out. I don't think there should ever be put this thought process on it. And if you need somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out.
Or me. DM us. Literally anything.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't have that kind of person, but I didn't need it. But there's people that need it, and I would happily guide them through how to not give a fuck.
I've literally, like, social media people that I requested me 6 years ago that I've never met, never talked to, whatever. They would post something and they'd be like, I'm having a mental health crisis, or, I'm so depressed recently, or like they would just post something and I would literally reach out to them. Never spoken to them before a day in my life. Hey, like if you need somebody to talk to, like totally.
That's weird. It's sweet, but it's weird. But
Why? Like, you never know what that means to somebody.
The ignorance in me.
You never know what that could mean to somebody. They have all of these friends that nobody's responding to them. Nobody's there for them. Like, I will be there for, like, honestly.
It'll take him a while to text you back or respond, but he will be there for
No,
you.
if you reach out to me and you say something, like, that is serious, that is, like, if you reach out to me and you're like, hey, how are you? Like, yeah, I'm probably not going to respond.
He thinks you have a motive. He doesn't want to know why you want to hang out. He's scared you're off rent the house. So you have to tell him you're in trouble at the gate, and he will respond to you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Any last minute advice that you would say?
Do you. Be you. There's only one you.
Yeah. That's true.
Let's put that on the label.
So, as a little advertisement, I guess, possibly, we have some.
Are you talking about the BGE?
Yes, we have some very exciting news for our listeners.
Go for it. All right, shit. So June 29th, Raw and Unsolicited is partnering with Broken Goblet Brewing in, is it Ben Salem? We're doing a big gay event with Broken Goblet, Mike Estabrook, and a couple other local companies to launch our first beer. So if you guys are listening, we would love to have you there. More details to follow. But again, talk to your boss. Take off June 29th.
And the day
6
after.
to 11.
Take off the day after.
Yeah, because you're going to be trashed from drinking all of our beer and all the other beverages. It's going to be a great event. It's our first event. We're going to be there doing a live episode. So if you guys have any questions or you want to hear anything, reach out to us before then. If not, we'll see you then. And other than that, we will see you next Tuesday.
There are more details to come. Feel free to reach out to us. And
I can't do nothing with you. I can't do nothing with you.